expect me to follow that. Especially considering what I got for y'all ain't necessarily a poem, but a vocabulary exercise that I put myself in. So off top, I just want to dedicate this to Ms. Vine, my 12th grade English teacher who told me that I never get out of the class. Bitch, I'm doing just fine. This is titled The ABCs of Living in America. Y'all know what alliteration is?
Yes.
You're gonna get a lot of it.
You gonna pay for it, devices.
Alright. So, always acquiesce and avoid aggression. As alluded to, admittedly, antagonism accentuates an already abhorrent, albeit abnormal and abusive actuality, because biased and bigoted blue bullets bloody black bodies. Belying the belief the basic barriers betray the best of us, besetting our brethren in the bog and the bile of the bullshit, causing Caucasian consternation and creating concern and contention in colored communities. Disordering and destabilizing decades of democracy and desensitizing the descendants of decedents destined to destroy the democratic deadlock eventually. Essentially, everyone exists equally, echoing the existential equanimity, exactly, easily, effortlessly explaining the efforts of expatriates and the excoriated, excommunicated that find favors in the fallacies, falsehoods, and fraudulent fever dreams of the fans of fueling and fanning the flames of fervor, fucking up the few fail-safes found fortifying the fortresses, factoring in the facetious facsimiles forged in the fires of factless fallibility, furthering facilitating foolhardy fall guys giving a gallant go of getting good guys and great gals a greater game changer. Generally garnering garish gang mentalities across generations, generating generalized garbage intended to gain generic gentilism and gird guard and guide against the German and goofballs getting greedy. Hopefully, harboring habitual hatred heaps happening happenstances upon our head, hereby having heretical hagglers hoping to half-assedly harbingers of a Martian. Because in instances of indolence, individuals initialize and imitate the iniquities of immediate insolence, instigating the insurrections and the influence at initiations of insurgents incessantly. Jesus. Justice just jilted, jabbed, and judged us as jigaboos while the jakes jaculate, jagged and jacked up jactentations like javelins while we jack down the jetty and jive with this junction, justly jury rigging the jury to jig and kick it while knowing that the kings and kente claws go complunk when killing themselves with kilograms of ketamine while key knowledge, key laws kickstart the kingdoms. Keenly kicking back and kidding kids into keeping kinesthetic and kitchen knickknacks. Leaving lovers longing for long-gone lacquered labors. Lately, lust-filled and lazy Lotharios leave ladies laid up with their labia largely loose and languishing over lost love languages. Maybe men make more mothers matter, manifesting the matriarchy where matrons make the majority of Machiavellian machinations morose and mundane, or mayhaps moronic misogynists made a mainly male macrocosm, maddening the moms, maidens, mademoiselles, and maidens, majorly mucking up any neighborly nuances, necessitating needless nagging by naked Nubian nubwives towards nervous, nerdy netizens. Nevertheless, neither nuanced and narrowcast narration naturally, not narrowly, negates natural negativity, obviously obfuscating the oblivious objectification of others. Observing obtuse operators of secularness objectively officiates the obsolescence of obstacles from our monarchical past, placing power past the pitiful players, clearing person against person, perhaps. Placating the populace precedes the popular paradoxical possibility of punishing the powerful, propagating the painfully pachydermic pacing of peaceful progression and preventing personable people from propping their perceived as pandering, the perceived as pandering proponents' pawns at the peak of the pantheon's paradise, properly preparing the parasitic perverts to panic quietly. Quixotically quieting the quagmire we qualify means quelling the qualms and quantities within quantifiable quantities of quasi-judicious queries. Quick, the querulous quibbling, the queer bashing, questionless quest to quickly quotients and quotas that reduce us to roustabouts and rabble-rousers. Realize the Regency's reality is just a citizen, remain ready to render the rights and regularities received by racial radicalization. Raise the ramparts as we rampage readily, rebuking racist rhetoric. Rally the ranks of recalcitrant rangers, Rowdy rascals, rude boy Rastafari, and roughneck rappers that routinely rail against the routed off report like they're reading some ready-made reaffirmation of Ronald Reagan. Refutation of the ravenous reality requires repeated refusal and redoubled recusancy. So, switching sides to something slightly sillier since super serious Suisism seems scurrilous and societally suppressing, try taking the tan trunk to the top of the tallest tower in Tonawanda and throwing that thing in his two-tone toupee to Toronto. Turning this terse text back towards the tangentially tactile, this type of testimonial thought takes time to train, tactfully taking tactful talks to the threshold of toxicity and then transforming that thing towards thoughtful, therapeutic, tolerant, and tantamount to totally taciturn. Then, uncommunicated, understanding unequivocally, the undeniable ultimatum, ubiquitously unavoidable until unbiased, unflinching, and uncensored union uniformly is undone and unaccounted for, verily and viciously verifying the vacuous visions vying for similitude in a vacuum, while the vague vagaries and vulgarities of our values vaporize the veil. In that vein, when we blissfully wait, we waste what we want, while the weight of whatever we would walk in the wake of the ways we would make will walk in vain, but why? Well, we would want to wantonly wade in waist deep waters while walking and wailing on the way to a waterfall while warmly wondering and worrying about a world in which xenophobic xenios, anticords, and xenophobic cards autographs from yesteryear, yet y'all yearn yearly for the yada yada and the useful yakety yak of the movie, yeah? Yeah, you need to yield to this young yakitorian yelling YOLO when yellow got on the way to Yokohama to Yom Kippur, you heard? Yet you said, not zag with zest, away from the zealots of the zero tolerance zeitgeist as you zip and zoom to Zanzibar, while in zeal you stay zetetic as you find the zenith of Zen before the 0 hour.